Okay, I'm going to cover bridging with the union tool. So, as I'm sure a lot of us has got the same problem, when you get multiple polygons on a field, such as this, there gets to be a lot of text, and we don't really have a way to turn the text off. It's nice to have a tag, but one would be sufficient. These are all farmed the same, so there's really no reason to have them broke out like that unless we're needing to know how many acres are in this piece. What I do in this situation is go down and make a copy of each of the polygons in a management zone. You can see I've got 3 management zones here that match up exactly with what we're doing. And that's just a reference. But what I'm going to do is using the bridge tool, I'm just going to get rid of that boundary. We're going to put them all together so that it shows these, although we can have these 3 boundaries, it's only going to see one polygon. So I've got 3 of these, like I said, that are going together. I'm just going to build me a bridge that goes from this one to this one. By doing that, I just grab a management zone. Okay, I'll just use the square tool. It's really easy. And just build me a bridge that goes between those 2. Then the one that I want to border with, I will right click, hit edit boundary, see the points appear, and I'm going to go advanced and hit union. And I'm going to hook it to that bridge. Okay, once I've got that done, I can stop edit boundary. That'll save my changes. And I can delete this bridge that I made. You'll see that it'll show up as the bridge across. Then I'm going to take this, edit boundary again, hit advanced, union this again, go over here, pick that one, hit update, and now I've got this piece. So I'm going to stop edit boundary. You can see where that's kind of a darker red now. I don't want that bridge to be that wide, so what I'll do is edit the boundary here again. Just zoom in and just pull this point down to where it's almost touching the other. That'll give me a bridge, but it won't significantly affect my acres. Stop edit boundary. Yeah, you can see it made hardly 1/10 of an acre difference. So once I do that, I've got this other piece up here I got to do a similar bridge with. So you can pick anywhere you want. I just usually pick somewhere that's easy. Same thing. Make yourself a management zone. Draw your bridge. I'm going to edit that boundary. Zoom that. Oh, have to go get my advanced tool. Union. There. Update. Stop. That'll save it. Go down here. Just get rid of that management zone. Okay. And I'll fire that up. Edit boundary. Advanced. Union. Go to there. Update. Yes. And I like to save it every time I make a change, just as a safety feature. I don't want to have to do it twice. Pull it down here. Pull it down here. Okay. Stop edit boundary. So that'll give you a clean one polygon border for those 3 fields. And I can go in here, find my field boundary that's got all those on there now. So this bottom one's the one that's got all 3 fields. So I can lose these 2 because I have copies of them. Okay. And now I've got just one polygon for that entire border. And if I want to move, you know, let's say I don't want that tag down there, I will edit boundary. It'll pop up a little button there and I'll pull it up here. More central. Stop the edited boundary. Okay. So that's basically using the bridge tool, or bridging using the union tool. Real simple, it keeps your clutter down, and you don't end up with a bunch of this in here then. Once you get your boundary bridged up like that and it's an all-in-one polygon, there's a couple advantages. First of all, you get rid of all that extra text. Maps the whole shebang, it's only going to show this. The other thing is when you come to the point where you're doing activities, because there was 3 polygons here, you'd have had to make 3 polygons. You'd have to do a crop activity or a fertilizer activity, any activity, 3 times. So, like, I've already got a DNS crop on this, but let's say, just as an example, I wanted to do a disease scouting, and here you'd right-click, go to disease activity. Let's say rust. So I got stripe rust here. I'll say it's F9. Save that. It's going to ask me what crop to put it on. I'll just put it on the DNS that's on there. Clone the polygon. So I can clone this entire polygon. See how it turned pink like that? So if I turn off my field boundary, you can actually see the stripe rust polygon. Whoop, got 2 in there on the whole thing. Where if I didn't, I'd have to make 3 of those. So that's a big advantage of having everything bridged up. As few polygons as you can get that you have to deal with separately. Same thing with weed scouting activities. So if I was going to weed scout on this, I'd have had to done 3 different polygons. I'd had 3 different activities, even though it's all the same field. It gives a lot of advantages to having things bridged up if you don't need those broke apart. One word of warning here: if you're doing any border manipulation, do it ahead of time. If you change the border of a field and then you do this in the field without syncing, you won't be able to clone that polygon until you sync. So if it's something you're going to do it in the shop, do it before you leave, sync up, and then you can utilize that polygon. But if you haven't synced with a database, it won't allow you to use that polygon because the database doesn't know it's there. There's no ID for it. So that's one word of warning doing this. Don't try to do this in the field. It won't work for you. Do it before you take it out. And that way you can utilize that border out in the field.